Hello, welcome to Local Edition. I'm Leslie Leyton. Well, just as sure as Santa will be making visits to a mall near you, drivers who are drunk are going to be causing accidents, some fatal accidents, more than at any time of year. With us now is Patricia Rillera. She's with Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Now, you work year-round to fight drunk driving.
Yes, what we do is we basically are advocates, national advocates in terms of bringing attention to this issue of drinking and driving. The mission of Mothers Against Drunk Driving really is to prevent drunk driving, to support the victims, and we support victims at 100% no cost to them, and to prevent underage drinking. And so that is a 365 days a year process that we go through in terms of educating the community.
It seems part of the way you educate the community is by having some of the victims of drunk driving, reach out and explain their stories to show that it is a crime that creates victims.
It is. A lot of what we do, a lot of our work does involve volunteers, and the volunteers they work with us in a host of ways. They help us in the community with the events. Sometimes they go to schools to talk to kids. But the most important part, I think, is when they come to a victim impact panel. And a victim impact panel is when an offender has an option to come to a Mothers Against Drunk Driving class versus having jail time. And we get those volunteers to talk about that passionate piece for them in terms of what that feels like to lose someone or to have someone injured as it relates to drinking and driving. Because the way we see this is drunk driving is 100% preventable. People have options. A lot of times people think that Mothers Against Drunk Driving is saying, don't drink, don't drink. No, that's not what Mothers Against Drunk Driving is saying at all. What we're saying is drink responsibly. December has the highest number of DUI-related deaths than any other month throughout the year. And of course you know that's because of all of the social events that are happening through the holidays. And they're centered around alcohol oftentimes. So what we suggest to the public is to make an alternative as you get ready to go to these parties or go to these social events. Have a designated driver, call a taxi, and that's something we don't do a lot of here in Southern California, but we should learn to do it. And there's also Uber. There's a lot of new technologies now, different types of transportation that one can take rather than get behind the wheel.
I think now more than ever, you look like a huge fool if you don't make use of some of these, especially these app-based Uber, Lyft, all of these things. It's so very easy. The message of Mothers Against Drunk Driving and the message from the law enforcement community does seem to be having an impact, but the message does bear to be repeated. Tell us about how drunk driving arrests have improved over time because of this repeated message.
Well, since Mothers Against Drunk Driving started almost 35 years ago, the drunk driving crashes and fatalities have been reduced by 50%. So our message and our, being everywhere and talking about this issue has really had an impact. There's more to do, though.
And you have an event coming up. Tell us about that, because that gets the word out, raises money,
yes,
keeps the program going.
We have an event coming up on April 11th. We have a walk at Madison Park.
At Mason Regional Park, in Irvine.
In Irvine,
yeah.
And we invite the public to come out. And so the proceeds from these events that we have go to support the victims. And all of the victims, if there's a victim of a crash or a family member, they call us, and all the services we provide are at no cost to them.
And you're also inviting corporate sponsors to get involved in this event.
We are looking for corporate sponsors. We are looking for corporate sponsors who want to have their names on the banner that shows that they support our vision of no drinking and driving in the communities altogether. And we want to have partners to help us eliminate drunk driving.
And the message repeated again, hopefully someone hears it today.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Pat Rillera, for being here.
Thank you.
I'm glad you could join us as well. I'm Leslie Leyton.